All right, hey guys. I'm sorry I haven't done a review in a while. I've just been busy with work and so forth. But I'm here, and I'm gonna give you my, I guess, late review of Guardians of the Galaxy. I actually saw it, um, like the day before it came out, like the 7 o'clock night showing in IMAX. It's whatever. So Guardians of the Galaxy is like the newest of like the Disney Marvel Cinematic Universe type movies, and it takes place like in the far reaches of space, and it's all about this sort of like group of rebels and criminals who are selfish, who are forced to like come together to like save this orb because this orb's going to destroy the world and the galaxy and so forth. So um, they decide to put all these sort of rebels, which are called the Guardians of the Galaxy, decide to like put their selfish ambitions away to save the world, or I mean, save the galaxy in that matter. So yeah, I mean, when Guardians of the Galaxy was first announced back at Comic Con like 2012, I was just like, that's a pretty risky sort of idea because you look at like these sort of like the Marvel movies of what we've gotten in the past with like Thor and Captain America and Iron Man, and they've been sort of grounded in reality, like they've been done in a way where you could actually believe that these characters existed. And the moment you do Guardians of the Galaxy, you start introducing like space and cosmic stuff and all that stuff, and you're just like all that ground reality stuff kind of like gets thrown out the window. You know what I mean? And to top it all off, I wasn't a huge Guardians of the Galaxy reader when I was a kid. I mean, like I've said before in these past videos that I've always been like a Batman, Thor, Spider Man, X-Men kind of kid. But I knew of the Guardians of the Galaxy. I knew kind of what they were and some of their history, but I wasn't a hardcore fan of them. You know what I mean? Um, so yeah, and I was pretty pumped to see this movie though. I was hoping it would be great. I mean, James Gunn is directing it; he's a good director, and I gotta say, Guardians of the Galaxy was great. I really loved Guardians of the Galaxy, man. I think what makes this movie great, first of all, the actors. Like Chris Pratt plays, Peter Quill, aka Star Lord, and Chris Pratt is a star right there. I I'm a Parks and Rec fan. I watch that show. It's hilarious. But never in my right mind ever thought that Chris Pratt could be an action star. You know what I mean? He's just always played the sort of like the dumb, funny characters, which he kind of is in this movie. He is a dumb, funny dude, but he is like sort of like the dumb, funny character that kind of matures throughout the whole movie, and that's great though. And when I heard Chris Pratt was cast, I thought it was good casting because Chris Pratt can do drama and comedy, and he really did show that in this movie. Chris Pratt was great as Star Lord, and I can't wait to see him in Jurassic World because I know he's going to bring something great to that movie. And Zoe Saldana as Gamora, I mean, she was great too. I mean, Zoe Saldana is a good actress as it is, so you know, it's pretty easy to see her sort of like as an ass kicker and how her backstory in this movie was pretty cool and pretty interesting. I just like how it tied some things together. I thought that was pretty cool. Dave Bautista as Drax the Destroyer. I thought he was fine. I mean, nothing great, but I thought he was fine. I mean, he did. I mean, surprisingly, he made me laugh. So, I was surprised that you've got a WWE wrestler that's an actor that's aside from The Rock has a personality. So yeah, there's that though. The two showstealers of this movie were Rocket Raccoon, being played by Bradley Cooper, and Groot being played by Vin Diesel. I mean, these two stole the show. I had so much fun watching their scenes. I loved hearing what Rocket Raccoon, said to other people, and I just loved how Groot was just this sort of like innocent, bumbling, character. I thought that was pretty good. And the villains are good. Like Lee Pace was good as Ronan, and Jaimin Hantu was good as Korath. But I gotta say, Karen Gillan stole the show as Nebula. I really loved her character. I loved sort of her rivalry with Gamora, and I liked how she was tied in with Thanos, played by Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin wasn't in the movie much as Thanos, though, but whatever he did, it was pretty good because he pretty much was and said some stuff that was straight out the Infinity Gauntlet sort of Thanos storylines. I thought that was pretty cool. Um, but yeah, I mean, the movies also has a really good soundtrack. If you're a fan of '70s music, you're gonna like it. I actually am not, believe it or not, but you know, anytime you've got like the Runaways as like a sort of like a battle type of song, then you're cool in my book because I really like the Runaways. And the action's pretty cool. It's like it's kind of like Star Wars and Firefly type action. At least it reminded me of that. And I thought that was pretty cool, man. That made me sort of geek out. You know what I mean? If there's any faults I will have with this, I do have with this movie. It's that I love a lot of the comedy, and the comedy works great in this movie. But there's sometimes where I just like, okay, you're going a little too far. You know what I mean? I mean, it wasn't like ruining the movie or anything like that. I'm just saying they kind of went overboard in some scenes, but it was still pretty funny. And the end credit scene though, like when it comes to the Marvel end credit scenes, they've all sort of like teased what the future of the Marvel movies are going to be. You know what I mean? Like the first Thor had shows like the Tesseract, and like Iron Man 2 shows like the Thor hammer. So I was kind of hoping for something like that. I wasn't expecting an Avengers 2 sort of thing, but I was like kind of expecting something that could tease the future of what the franchise is going to be. And instead, the end credit scene that we got was like a big WTF moment. It was so random, and I just was like, "That's it." I was actually kind of disappointed. Um, Aside from that, Guardians of the Galaxy is funny. It's exciting. It's got great action. It is a really cool addition to the Marvel movies, and I'm so glad that they're doing a sequel because there's so much to tell. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna give Guardians of the Galaxy an A minus. I really hope you guys see it. If you have, like, what did you think about it? Like, where would you rank it with all the other sort of like Marvel movies? Now, I think I would rank it probably more than all the other Marvel movies, except for Avengers 1 and Thor 2 and Cap 2. But that's just me. So yeah, just comment below and let me know. And just a little bit of an update. I did finish my my Blu-ray collection video. It will be coming within this week or next week, so stay tuned.